You've been told confidence is enough, that if you believe in yourself, act bold and stay positive, people will respect you. That's not how power works. Because in reality, people don't respond to what you say about yourself. They respond to what your behavior silently confirms. And most people fail here. They try to prove their value. They try to earn their position. They try to be accepted, without realizing that's exactly what lowers them. 𝐻𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli understood a much darker truth. You don't rise by convincing others you're valuable. You rise by behaving as if your position was never in question. In this video, you'll uncover the psychological shift that makes people adjust to you, without force, without explanation, without asking. And once you understand this, you'll start noticing how status is not given. It's assumed, and then accepted. The internal rank system. Every interaction you enter is already ranked, not by titles, not by status, but by perception. And the most important perception is not theirs. It is yours. Before anyone decides how to treat you, you have already set the standard through your internal rank system. The way you see yourself silently defines how you speak, how you move, and how much you tolerate from others. 𝐻𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli understood that power does not begin externally. It begins with self-positioning. If your internal rank is uncertain, your behavior reflects it. You hesitate before asserting yourself. You adjust your tone to match others. You allow small acts of disrespect because you are still deciding where you stand. And people read that instantly, not consciously, but instinctively, because uncertainty creates openings. When your internal position is unstable, others begin testing it. They interrupt more. They question more. They push boundaries to see how far they can go. And without realizing it, you start responding instead of leading. That is how control is lost. But when your internal rank is fixed, something changes. You no longer enter interactions trying to earn position. You carry it. Your tone becomes steady. Your reactions become measured. You do not rush to prove anything because your position does not feel negotiable. And that creates pressure, not through force, through certainty. 𝐻𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli emphasized that perception shapes power more than reality. When a person believes they hold a higher position, their behavior aligns with that belief. And others, over time, begin adjusting to it, because people respond to signals, not claims. The internal rank system is that signal. It defines your baseline. It determines what you accept, what you reject, and how you carry yourself without needing validation. And once that system becomes stable, you stop reacting to how others see you. They begin reacting to how you see yourself. That is where authority begins. Not in what you say, but in what you believe is already true. And once that belief becomes consistent, it stops being internal. It becomes visible. The illusion of superiority without proof. Superiority is rarely proven. It is assumed, not through evidence, not through constant demonstration, but through the quiet confidence of someone who does not feel the need to justify their position. The moment you start proving your value, you signal that it is still uncertain, and uncertainty invites evaluation. 𝐻𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli understood that power is not always established through achievement. It is often established through perception. The person who behaves as if they belong at the highest level is rarely questioned as quickly as the one trying to earn that place, because effort signals doubt. The illusion of superiority works differently. It removes the need to convince. Instead of explaining your worth, you operate as if it is already understood. Your tone does not seek agreement. Your actions do not ask for approval. Your presence does not adjust to fit the environment. It remains fixed. This creates a psychological imbalance. People begin interpreting your behavior instead of challenging it. They assume there is a reason behind your certainty. They fill the gaps with their own conclusions, often assigning more value to you than you ever stated. Because confidence without proof creates curiosity, and curiosity creates attention. 𝐻𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli often used perception as a weapon. He understood that people do not always analyze deeply. They respond to signals, patterns, and consistency. When those signals remain steady, the mind accepts them as truth over time. The illusion becomes reality. But this only works under one condition: consistency. If your behavior breaks, if your confidence fluctuates, if your actions contradict your position, the illusion collapses immediately. Because without consistency, perception cannot stabilize. And once it destabilizes, scrutiny begins. The mistake most people make is trying to prove superiority through words, achievements, or constant validation. In doing so, they place themselves in a position where they must be evaluated, and evaluation creates hierarchy. The illusion of superiority avoids that entirely. It operates without explanation. It moves without announcement. And because it does not ask to be believed, it often is. That is the paradox. The less you try to prove your position, the more real it appears. If this made you rethink everything, like the video and comment unmatched below, because the next part only gets sharper. The behavioral shift that signals authority. Authority is not announced. It is observed. Through small behavioral shifts most people overlook. The way you pause before speaking, the way you hold eye contact, the way you respond instead of react. These signals define your position long before anything is said. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli understood that behavior communicates rank more clearly than language. Because language can be adjusted, behavior reveals patterns. When someone lacks authority, their actions carry subtle inconsistencies. They rush responses. They over-explain decisions. They adjust their tone depending on who they are speaking to. These shifts may seem small, but they create a signal. Uncertainty, and uncertainty lowers position. People begin reading that instability. They sense hesitation. They recognize the need for approval. And once that signal appears, the interaction changes. Respect becomes conditional. Attention becomes selective. Authority operates differently. The behavioral shift is not dramatic. It is controlled. Movements become deliberate. Speech becomes measured. Reactions slow down. Instead of filling silence, you allow it. Instead of explaining everything, you say only what is necessary. This creates pressure, because people are forced to interpret you instead of guiding you. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli emphasized that perception is shaped by consistency. When your behavior remains steady regardless of the situation, it signals internal control. And internal control creates external authority. Others begin adjusting, not because you demanded it, because your behavior leaves no space for negotiation. The shift is subtle, but powerful. You stop trying to be understood. You stop reacting instantly. You stop adjusting to every presence in the room. Instead, you hold position, and that position becomes visible, because authority is not built through effort. It is revealed through restraint. When your behavior no longer seeks validation, it begins creating influence. People listen more carefully. They hesitate before interrupting. They measure their responses before speaking, all without you saying anything directly. That is the signal. Not loud, not forced, but undeniable. And once that signal becomes consistent, authority stops being something you try to project. It becomes something others recognize, without needing explanation. Why seeking equality destroys presence. Equality sounds fair, but in power dynamics, it weakens presence. Not because people should be treated poorly, but because positioning yourself as equal in every interaction removes the psychological edge that creates authority. When you constantly try to level yourself with others, you stop defining your position. You start negotiating it. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli understood that hierarchy is always present, even when it is not spoken. In every interaction, someone sets the tone, someone controls the pace, someone holds the frame. When you seek equality too quickly, you give up the chance to establish that frame. And once it is given up, it is difficult to regain. Seeking equality often shows up in subtle ways. You mirror behavior too quickly. You adjust your tone to match others. You try to make everyone comfortable instead of maintaining your own position. It feels cooperative, but it signals something else, a lack of internal authority. Because when your position depends on matching others, it is no longer stable. It shifts with the environment. It adapts to whoever you are facing. And that inconsistency makes your presence weaker. People begin to sense that you are adjusting. And once they sense it, they take control of the interaction. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli emphasized that power comes from holding position, not blending into it. A person who maintains their frame forces others to respond to them. A person who seeks equality invites others to define the terms. That is the difference. Presence is not created by being the same. It is created by being fixed. When you stop trying to equalize every interaction, something changes. You no longer chase comfort. You no longer adjust to be accepted. You hold your tone, your pace, your behavior without needing alignment. And that creates distance. Not emotional distance, positional distance. People begin to feel it. They measure their words more carefully. They observe more closely. They adjust their behavior instead of expecting you to adjust yours. Because you are no longer negotiating your place. You are setting it. And once that shift happens, presence stops being something you try to build. It becomes something others have to deal with. The power of assumed value. Value is rarely measured. It is inferred. People do not analyze your worth in detail. They do not sit and calculate your abilities, your knowledge, or your potential. Instead, they rely on signals, subtle cues that tell them how to interpret you before any real evaluation begins. And the strongest signal is assumption. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli understood that perception often precedes reality. The person who carries themselves as valuable is rarely questioned immediately. The one who tries to prove value invites scrutiny from the beginning, because proof creates doubt. Assumed value works differently. It removes the need for validation. You do not seek agreement. You do not adjust to gain approval. You behave as if your value is already established, regardless of the environment or the people around you. This creates a shift. Instead of being evaluated, you become the reference point others measure themselves against. Your tone remains steady. Your behavior remains controlled. You do not react to every interaction as if it determines your position, because your position is not being decided in real time. It is already set. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli often relied on this principle. He understood that people respond to confidence that appears grounded, even when they do not fully understand its source. That uncertainty leads them to assign importance rather than question it, because questioning requires effort, and most people follow the easiest interpretation. Assumed value exploits this tendency. When your behavior consistently reflects certainty, others begin aligning with it. They listen more carefully. They hesitate before challenging. They give space without being asked, not because you demanded it, because your presence suggests it is expected. The mistake most people make is trying to earn value through explanation, performance, or constant validation. In doing so, they position themselves below the judgment of others. And once you are being judged, your position becomes unstable. Assumed value avoids that entirely. It operates without negotiation. It does not ask to be confirmed. And over time, that consistency reshapes perception, because people begin to accept what is never questioned, and the person who does not question their own value becomes difficult for others to question as well. How others adjust to your self-perception. People do not decide your position in isolation. They respond to the one you present. Every interaction carries signals about how you see yourself, not through what you claim, but through how you behave, what you tolerate, and how you react under pressure. These signals shape how others adjust their behavior around you. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧 Machiavelli understood that perception is rarely forced. It is absorbed. When your self-perception is uncertain, others begin testing it. They interrupt, challenge and push boundaries to measure your response. If your reactions shift, if your tone adjusts, if your position weakens, they recognize it immediately, and they adapt. They take more space. They apply more pressure. They move with less caution, because your behavior gave them permission. But when your self-perception is stable, the dynamic reverses. You do not react to every stimulus. You do not adjust to every personality. Your responses remain measured. Your tone remains consistent. You hold your position without needing reinforcement. This creates a different signal. Certainty. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐽 Machiavelli emphasized that people follow patterns they can trust. When your behavior remains aligned with a strong internal perception, others begin organizing their actions around it. They hesitate before interrupting. They measure their words more carefully. They adapt to you, not because you demanded control, because your behavior removed the space for them to challenge it. This adjustment happens quietly. No confrontation, no declaration, just a gradual shift in how people approach you. The mistake most individuals make is expecting respect before establishing self-perception. They look for external confirmation instead of creating internal stability. And without that stability, their behavior remains inconsistent. Inconsistency invites testing. Testing invites control. But once your self-perception becomes fixed, others stop searching for weaknesses. They stop testing boundaries as often. They begin aligning their behavior with what they believe your position to be. Because people do not just respond to who you are, they respond to who you consistently show yourself to be. And when that image is stable, their behavior stabilizes around it. That is how influence begins, not through force, through alignment. The detachment that creates status. Status is not created by effort, it is created by distance. Not physical distance, but psychological separation from outcomes, reactions, and constant engagement. The more attached you appear, the more available you become, and availability reduces perceived value. Detachment reverses that dynamic. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐽 Machiavelli understood that those who appear less dependent hold more control. When your behavior is not driven by immediate reactions, others lose the ability to influence you through pressure. They cannot rush you, they cannot provoke you, and they cannot easily predict how you will respond. That creates tension, and tension creates status. Most people lose this advantage because they stay emotionally involved in everything. They respond instantly. They try to resolve every situation. They invest energy into every interaction as if it must be managed in real time. This signals something. Dependence, because when you are always engaged, it shows that outcomes matter too much. Reactions matter too much. Other people's responses begin shaping your behavior without you realizing it. Detachment removes that. You observe without rushing to react. You allow situations to develop without forcing immediate control. You remain present, but not absorbed. This creates space between stimulus and response. And in that space, control exists. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐽 Machiavelli emphasized that unpredictability strengthens position. When others cannot easily read your level of investment, they hesitate, they slow down, they begin adjusting their behavior because they cannot rely on your reaction. That hesitation gives you leverage. Detachment is not indifference, it is controlled involvement. You choose where to invest attention, when to respond, and how much importance to assign to each interaction. You remove unnecessary urgency. You stop reacting to everything as if it demands your energy. And that changes perception. People begin treating you differently. They approach with more caution. They speak with more consideration. They observe before acting, because your responses are no longer automatic. They are selective, and selective behavior creates value. The individual who is not easily pulled into reactions becomes harder to influence. Their presence feels stable, controlled, and difficult to disrupt. That is what creates status. Not constant action, but controlled distance. Because the less you appear to need the moment, the more control you hold within it. When belief becomes reality, Belief is not just internal, it reshapes external reality. Not instantly, not magically, but through consistent behavior that others begin to accept as truth. The way you see yourself does not stay contained within your mind. It leaks into your tone, your posture, your decisions, and your tolerance for how others treat you. And people respond to that. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐽 Machiavelli understood that perception, when held consistently, becomes indistinguishable from reality. Not because it is proven, but because it is never contradicted. The mind accepts what it sees repeatedly, and behavior is what it sees. When belief is unstable, your actions reflect it. You hesitate, you adjust, you second-guess your position. These small inconsistencies create doubt, and that doubt spreads into how others interpret you, because inconsistency invites evaluation. But when belief becomes fixed, something changes. Your actions align without effort. You do not question your position in every interaction. You do not seek confirmation before making decisions. Your behavior carries a level of certainty that does not require explanation, and that certainty creates influence. People begin accepting your position because it is consistently presented. They stop questioning it as often. They start organizing their behavior around it, not because they analyzed it deeply, but because it appears stable. 𝐻𝐞𝐿 Machiavelli often relied on this principle. Consistency removes resistance. The more stable your belief, the less space others have to challenge it. Doubt cannot attach itself easily when there is no visible break in behavior. And without doubt, perception solidifies. This is where belief becomes reality, not through words, through repetition. The mistake most people make is waiting for external validation before strengthening their belief. They look for proof before acting with certainty. But that delays the process, because reality does not shift first. Behavior does. When your belief drives consistent action, others begin reflecting it back to you. Their responses change. Their expectations shift. Their behavior adjusts to match the position you continuously present. And over time, the difference disappears. What started as internal belief becomes external truth, not because it was declared, because it was lived. And once that alignment is complete, your position no longer feels like an assumption. It feels like fact. What you've just seen isn't motivation, it's positioning. Most people will hear this, feel a moment of confidence, and then go back to explaining themselves, adjusting their behavior and trying to prove their worth, and nothing will change. But a few will understand what this really means. That acting as if you are the best is not about arrogance. It's about removing hesitation, removing the need for approval, removing the instinct to lower yourself just to be accepted. Because once that shift becomes real, your behavior changes. And when behavior changes, people respond differently. That is how position is built, quietly. If this gave you a new way to see yourself, like the video, share it with someone who still doubts their position, comment "I am the standard" below, and subscribe for more ruthless psychological strategies.